Morning, Bhante.
Good morning, Bhante.
Morning, Bhante, Jeruan Saranai.
Okay. Good morning.
Good morning, Bhante.
Bhante.
Good morning, Bhante.
Good morning, Bhante G.
Good morning. Today I am going to give a very simple Dhamma talk, very easy to understand, and the talk is on, that is called, title is Seven Jatilas. Seven Jatilas. I explain it later on. You can find it in Samyutta Nikaya, Seven Jatila Sutta. On one occasion, the Blessed One was dwelling at Savatthi in the eastern park in the mansion of Megara's mother. Now on that occasion, in the evening, the Blessed One had emerged from his seclusion and was sitting by the outer gateway. Then King Prasenadi Kosala approached the Blessed One, paid homage to him, and sat down on one side. King Kosala normally visited the Buddha very often, almost every day. He visited the Buddha. He was very devoted to the Buddha. So that day, as usual, he went and paid homage to the Buddha and sat on one side, not very close to the Buddha, little far, so that he could see the Buddha, and also he could see outside, looking on the road. On that occasion, seven Jatilas, seven Niganthas, seven naked ascetics, and seven one-robed ascetics, and seven wanderers. Now, Jatilas are those who are wearing a turban. Then Niganthas, Niganthas are two kinds. This time, one Niganthas one group is wearing white clothes, and 7 naked ascetics. They are so simple that they say they don't have any desire for anything, not even the clothes. And therefore they were not wearing even the clothes. And therefore they lived naked. And 7 one-robed ascetics, their lower part is covered, upper part is uncovered. They are one-clothed ascetics. And 7 wanderers, they have their clothes on, but they were wandering in their entire life. They don't stay in one place. Staying in one place, they thought would increase their desire to stay in one place. So they wanted to be total renunciant in the highest sense of the term. Then they all have with long hair armpits, long fingernails, long body hair, carrying their bundles of requisites. All other requisites are put in a bundle. They were carrying their walking sticks, and they were passed by not far from the Blessed One. Now, the Buddha saw them, King Kosala saw them walking. Then King Pasenadi Kosala rose from his seat, arranged his upper robe over one shoulder, knelt down with his right knee on the ground, and raising his joined hands in reverential salutation towards the 7 Jatilas, 7 Nigantas, 7 naked ascetics, 7 one-robed ascetics, and 7 wanderers, he announced his name 3 times. I am the king, venerable sirs, Pasenadi of Kosala. I am the king, venerable sirs, Pasenadi of Kosala. 3 times he repeated. And then, not long after these 7 Jatilas and 7 naked ascetics and so forth, when these groups, 7 wanderers and so forth, had departed, King Pasenadi of Kosala approached the Blessed One, paid homage to him, sat down to one side, and said to the Blessed One. Now, the King Kosala, since he was sitting not too far away from the Buddha, after these groups of 7 passed, not too long after they passed, they passed that area, he came to the Buddha and sat down again having respected the Buddha, and told the Buddha, those venerables are to be included among the men in the world who are arahants, or who have entered upon the path to arahantship. Now, by looking at this group of 7, group of 7s, 7, 7, 7, 4, 5 groups, he declared to the Buddha, saying that they must be either arahants or belong to arahants. Then Buddha immediately responded in a very wise way. He said, "Great king, being a layman who enjoys sensual pleasures, dwelling in home crowded with children, enjoying the use of casins, sandalwood, wearing garlands, scents, and ornaments, receiving gold and silver, it is difficult for you to know these arahants or those who have entered upon the path of arahantship. In your status, while you are enjoying all sensual pleasures, you cannot know that or cannot make any decision as who these people are." And Buddha gave him a very important advice, which has 4 points. One is living, one advice is by living together with someone, O great king, that is virtue is to be known, and that after a long time, not after a short time, by one who is attentive, not by one who is inattentive, by one who is wise, not one who is unwise. So one has to have these qualities to make judgment or to know the other person. But by superficial appearance, you cannot make any decision to say that this is good person or not. So, whether he is observing moral principles or not, you just saw them. And there is a Vimamsaka Sutta in Majjhima Nikaya, where Buddha said and asked bhikkhus, monks, those who have not developed supernatural powers or power of reading others' minds must associate with the Buddha and live together with him, not for too short period, but associate for long time, not after you cannot make the decision about his morality after associating with him for a short time. And you must pay attention, you must be attentive, and you must not be inattentive. You must be wise, and if you are not, you cannot see the virtue of the Buddha. So you have to use your eyes and ears and associate with the Buddha. This is Vimamsaka Sutta. There are many such qualities. So this is number 1. Number 2, you have to deal with one. It is by dealing with someone, great king, that is honesty is to be known. And that after a long time, not after a short time, by one who is attentive, but not by one who is inattentive, by one who is wise, not dullard, unwise person. You cannot know the honesty of somebody by superficial appearance. Even for a short, you associate with the person, for a very short period of time, you deal with the person, you have to live with the person for a long time. Exactly as Vimansaka Sutta mentioned. Then, the third thing you should do, it is in adversities, great in that a person's fortitude is to be known. Whether the person has determination, ability to stand difficulties, you can know only by during adversities, difficulties. And that also you can know by associating with the person for long time, not for short time. And then paying attention, not by not paying attention. You have to be wise, but if you are not wise, you cannot know that person's fortitude, that is his stamina, his strength. Then it is by discussion with someone, O great king, that his wisdom is to be known by discussion. When you discuss things, you will know the person is wise or not. Now, when Buddha said all this to the king, king said, "It is wonderful, Venerable Sir. It is amazing, Venerable Sir, how well this has been stated by the Blessed One. Great king, being a layman and so forth, he repeated what Buddha told him. And he said, he admitted, Venerable Sir, these are my spies, undercover agents, coming back after spying out the country. First information is gathered by them, and then afterwards I will make them disclose it. Now, Venerable Sir, when they have washed off the dust and dirt and are freshly bathed and groomed, with their hair and beard trimmed, clad in white garment, they will enjoy themselves, supplied the endowed with 5 courses sensual pleasures. Now, after all these things, they come and tell me the information they gathered. when I hear the information from them, I myself watched the villages. This is one of the things kings did those days. They had their detectives, spies, and they send them out to gather information from villages. As they disguised, people do not suspect them. They think these are beggars, ascetics, naked ascetics, wanderers, and so on. They put on all these garments to deceive people so that they will reveal all their secrets and do not hide anything. If the king was unrighteous, if the king was not honest, if the king was not doing his job properly, there is no way to convey this message to the king. They were very much afraid of them, because kings of those days, like dictators, they can do anything they wanted. So this is called, and therefore the king sent these messages to villages and gathered information. Then king himself, he corrected himself. His intention is to govern the country righteously, correctly, for the benefit of people. And therefore, because of his honesty, he gathered this information. On the other hand, if there are people, enemies of the king, who may plot to oust him, that information also he can get. So for both sides, to help them as well as to prevent them rioting and demonstrating and trying to overthrow him from his throne. Therefore, they use this method. So, by superficial appearance, you cannot make a judgment. And then Buddha concluded saying, a man is not easily known by outward form, nor should one trust a quick appearance or quick appraisal, for in the disguise of the well-controlled, uncontrolled men move in this world. People always are not honest. They pretend to be honest, but they are not. And they disguise in order to find their true nature. These are the methods that Buddha asked to use. So, number one is living together for a long time, paying attention. Number two, dealing with them to know their honesty. And meeting, waiting for an adversity to arise, to understand their stamina, their strength, and discuss things with them to know their wisdom. Otherwise, you don't know them. So Buddha said, like counterfeit earring made of clay, counterfeit earring made of clay, like bronze halfpenny coin with gold, and some move about in disguise, inwardly impure, outwardly beautiful. Coin is covered or coated with gold, but the coin is made of copper or bronze, but coated or covered with, painted with gold. It appears to be gold, but not real gold. And counterfeit earring made of clay and covered with gold appear to be gold. Similarly, people inwardly, they are full of impurities, dishonesty, but outwardly they are beautiful, outwardly beautiful, well dressed, well manners, their etiquette and so forth are good. So these are the four kinds of criteria that Buddha, they are called Sankhya Samanya Panyati Ohara in Pali. They are association, dealing and discussion, and waiting for adversaries, difficult times. And when you are discussing things with the person, you will know that the person is wise or not. And as these criteria are used, Buddha asked in this Vimansaka Sutta in Madhyama Nikaya, and for anyone to see whether the Buddha is fully enlightened or not. There was, so somebody put this into practice. His name is Brahmayu. He was, according to the story, he was 120 years old. And he had a student called Purana. So Buddha's reputation had spread all over India, and this man, Brahmayu, wanted to know whether the Buddha really enlightened or not. So he sent this man called Purana to check on him. And he went and associated with the Buddha 7 months, following him like his own shadow, watching him walking, watching him talking, eating, drinking, and every movement he watched, for like his own shadow. he associated, followed the Buddha. And after 7 months, he realized that the Buddha was fully enlightened. Then he came and reported this to this Brahmin called Brahmayu. Then one day, since Brahmayu was pretty old, the distance between his place and the Buddha's, where the Buddha lived, was too far for him to walk. He said, I hope one day I can meet him. Sure enough, after some time, Buddha happened to walk in Brahmayu's area. Then Brahmayu went there, met the Buddha, and putting his head on the Buddha's feet and began to massage his feet, repeating Venerable Sir, I am Brahmayu, I am Brahmayu, I am Brahmayu. And Buddha said, enough, mister, you get up, you sit down on your seat, and then if you have any question, you ask me. And they had a very lovely, friendly conversation with the Buddha. And then Brahmayu was so convinced that the Buddha was fully enlightened. After this conversation, Brahmayu accepted the Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha, and on the spot, because of his dedication, devotion to the Buddha, soon after their discussion, Brahmayu attained stream entry, first level of enlightenment. So, even though Brahmayu could not go and associate with the Buddha for that long as 7 months, his disciple went and associated with him and came back to him and gave the full report. So this is one example of how this is called Arya Vohara, noble person's way of knowing another person. He applied this 4 method: association, discussion, and adversaries, and his dealing with the person. He used all of them, and finally he became his very devout follower. Now this is what I have to say today in our little simple talk. Also, I have to make an announcement today that tomorrow, tonight we start our sutta study retreat. And tomorrow there will be a talk that I give. There may not be time for you to ask me questions, but you can join me. The same link you can use, but the talk starts at 9:45 or 9:40 or 45. That goes up to 10:40. So you have full hour to listen to the sutta discussion. There are several suttas we have selected. Perhaps tomorrow I start with very important discourse called Sabbasava Sutta. Sabbasava Sutta. Discourse on all cankers, all asavas that you find in Majjhima Nikaya, Sutta number 2. First sutta is Mula Pariyaya Sutta. Second sutta is, no, I'm sorry, not Sabbasava. Alagadupama Sutta, not Sabbasava. Alagadupama Sutta. Alagadupama Sutta is sutta number, I think, 22 in Majjhima Nikaya. Majjhima Nikaya. Alagadupama Sutta. Let me find the sutta number. Maybe Anuruddha. Alagadupama. I think Alagadupama Sutta. Yeah, you can see in Majjhima Nikaya. Okay? I think Sutta number 22. Yeah. Majjhima Nikaya, Sutta number 22. You read the sutta and prepare to participate in our discussion. So you will not miss anything. Okay? Now, let me conclude this with my regular metta recital with meditation. Okay? Let me go. Okay. Can you see that? Okay. You can see that? Okay. May all beings be happy and secure. May all beings have happy minds. Whatever living beings there may be, without exception, weak or strong, long, large, medium, short, subtle or gross, visible or invisible, living near or far, born or coming to birth, may all beings have happy minds. Let no one deceive another, nor despise anyone anywhere. Neither from anger nor ill will should anyone wish harm to another. As a mother would risk her own life to protect her only child, even so towards all living beings, one should cultivate a boundless heart. One should cultivate for all the world a heart of boundless loving friendliness, above, below, and all around, unobstructed, without hatred or resentment. Whether standing, walking, sitting, lying down, or whenever awake, one should develop this mindfulness. This is called divinely dwelling here, not falling into erroneous views, but virtuous and endowed with vision, removing desire for sensual pleasures. One comes never again to birth in the womb. Okay, now let us continue our meditation.
Might be here.
By means of this meritorious deed, may I never join with the foolish, may I join always with the wise, until the time I attain Bhavana. May the suffering be free from suffering, may the fear-struck be free from fear, may the grieving be free from grief, so too may all beings be. From the highest realm of existence to the lowest, may all beings arisen in these realms, with form and without form, with perception and without perception, be released from all suffering and attain to perfect peace. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Friends, this is the end of our today's session, and I want to share my metta with everybody, as I normally do. So may all beings in hospitals suffering from various diseases, taken care of by very compassionate doctors, nurses, and hospital staffs, return to their normal, healthy life, continue their Dhamma practice, and attain liberation from samsaric suffering. May those doctors, nurses, and hospital staffs who are sacrificing their comfort, risking their own life, dedicating their life to this noble service, may they continue their service and practice Dhamma and attain liberation from samsaric suffering. May those who have lost their loved ones, may be still grieving, may they be free from grief and continue their Dhamma practice and understand the nature of life and liberate themselves from samsaric suffering. Those who are in various trouble spots, discriminations, poverty-stricken area, may they be free from those unfortunate situations, find peace, solace and comfort, practice Dhamma, and attain liberation from samsaric suffering. May all of you, whose categories I have not mentioned, may you all be well, happy and peaceful, and continue your Dhamma practice and attain liberation from samsaric suffering. And remember, tomorrow we
Red one. The red one, Bhante, stop sharing.
no.
Stop sharing.
Tomorrow we start our session at 9:40, and no questions and answers, but you can participate in our sutta discussion at 9:40. That goes up to 10:40, 1 whole hour. Instead of having half an hour discussion or questions and answers, you can have full hour of Dhamma discussion on suttas. Tomorrow's sutta is Alagadupama Sutta, sutta number 22 in Majjhima Nikaya. Okay? You let others.
Thank you, Bhante. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Okay?
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Sadhu Bhante.
Thank you, Bhante.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Thank you.